Thank you for your patience as we try to figure this out and make it inclusive for all. I told May in a tin one of my learning curves through this whole experience was recognizing we weren't as inclusive as an organization to the deaf community because all of our films did not include open captions. And so next year, that will be a requirement, that every single film we have will have open captions. And I get a little choked up thinking about it because so many details to put together these things, and you go, that should have been our priority. And I didn't even know the phrase open captions until we talked 3 weeks ago, or whenever that was. So man, so much. But thank you for sharing your film. Thank you for sharing your stories. And I'm sorry, too, there was a glitch I heard. I was getting texted and blown up at the other event, and I was like crushed inside for you. But thank you for our team that solved the problem and your patience. That is the worst 5 minutes of a filmmaker's life. It feels like a year after all of the work and preparation and payment to get that hard drive working, and to say it was tested and it doesn't work, awful. But we're going to start again. Everybody take a big, deep breath in. And let it out. Exhale. What a beautiful film. Thank you. Michelle, we love you. We love you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And I would love for you to start, Michelle, with so many firsts for you. Coming on a plane by yourself today, or yesterday, you arrived by yourself on an airplane for the first time. Can you share just where you are? What are you feeling and thinking emotionally right now?
I feel strong. I've got this big heart here. I mean, yeah, I feel strong. This is the first time I was on the airplane. And I would also like to say that it was her first time on the airplane ever was in February. So now, several months later, this is the first time she flew alone. So she's really learning a lot. She's becoming more and more independent, which is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Seeing yourself on a big screen, how about that? Vulnerability, being able to share all of the shadows and the realities and not hide anything is not an easy task. Thank you for being transparent and authentic and reminding us of true bravery. I want to just hear how it was to have these cameras follow you around and why you said yes. Why did you let these amazing people follow you around and also have to reenact some of the trauma you endured to put that on screen?
So I'm just going to clarify what the question was. I want to make sure that I understand. Do you want to know how it was to kind of relive her experience in that trauma and what that was like? Okay.
And why she said yes to that.
I don't know. Going back to Prez, I don't know. Just tell him the story of why you did it. It was hard. I had to go back and use my art. There was no communication at that time. You know, deaf people need sign language to communicate and need interpreters, and they weren't there. And now you decided to tell your story. Why? Is it part of it that you wanted the system to change? You didn't want other deaf people to have the same experience? Now remember, when you had gone into prison, why did you agree to go back to prison? And you decided to go in yourself and not have somebody act in your space. And she's saying, the reason I wanted to do that is because I'm a brave individual. I wanted to tell my story. I didn't want somebody else to tell my story.
Well, speaking of story, let me back up, and I'm going to have you, Atin and May, producer, director, introduce yourselves and the panel. I got too caught up in wanting to jump right into with Michelle, but I want you to be able to introduce yourself, pronouns, however you want to describe yourself physically, and then we'll go down the panel and keep moving into some questions from our audience. Go ahead, Atin.
Hi, my name is Atin Mehra, and my pronouns is he and him. I was raised in India. I came here 16 years ago, and I was so lucky and blessed to meet such a strong person, Michelle, in my life, and I'm so grateful for that.
My name is May Thornton Merritt. I'm a producer on the film. My pronouns are she, her, and yes, we're thrilled to be here with part of our amazing team. This whole film has taken many, many amazing individuals to make, and we also just thank all of you for being here today. It's really special to see all of you here and have this conversation.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and my sign name is Michelle. And your pronouns are. She doesn't understand what pronouns are. That's a whole other conversation. Hi, my name is May, and my pronouns are she, her, and I became involved with the film. One moment. With social impact, and it's been a wonderful journey for all of us to be here together. And just to let you know, I'm half Asian, half American. I'm female. I've got black hair. I've got a white blouse on. Hello, my name is Del Wetter, and I'm the executive producer for this film. And my pronouns are he, him. I have a black jacket on with a black shirt. I've got glasses, and I'm male.
I'm not going to excuse my emotions because I only got 4 hours of sleep last night. I'm going to take responsibility that this film moved me so much. I think I watched it this is my third time watching it. And the way you, at the end, bring the story together to talk about communication and how important it is for us as human beings to communicate. I want to just quickly say the whole thing about pronouns and why we do physical descriptions. I'm still learning, but to be inclusive of all gender identities and to give people permission to identify how they identify is one of the reasons why we're normalizing this. And two, to say I'm a Caucasian man with brown hair wearing green glasses and a green shirt is helpful for people who are blind, who are just listening, right? To be able to use their imagination to see us. Another form of communication. It takes time to walk through these spaces, but I'm so grateful for stories like this that remind us and help us to do that. So thank you for inviting us to learn about communication. And I thought I would just throw it out there to you filmmakers. You told a story, a visual story about a deaf woman that is so beautiful. What did it do to you? I'm sure following her around and editing this and finding the funding to make it has changed you. I'd just love you to share about your process as a filmmaker and how your own story impacted you.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you to BraveMakers and you all here and rest of the people they haven't seen yet. And also, just would like to say there's our two other EPs. They are on the crowd. Please stand up. Preeti Sangvi and Rajiv Sangvi. Because without them, this will be never made. You know, Rajiv is the reason I met Michelle, and he brought me into this world. But I think the most important part is, I came here 16 years ago from India, and I had a very different dream and expectation about this country. And when I met Michelle, it's kind of, I don't know, I can't describe in words. It was very shocking. And it's not only Michelle, there's so many other Michelle out there right now in the prison without any communication, And I feel like, the Michelle is just such a beautiful and powerful soul, and I'm so glad that she was able to step up, trust us, and then she was also part of this whole film process. She's the one guide us which direction we need to go. So thank you, Michelle, again. And I think where we played the role is just building that trust and become part of friend, trying to understand her, and also, listening her and giving her that space that she never had before. So, no, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just say that it's been an incredible, incredible opportunity to put together the Being Michelle team and working with Dell and May and all of our other producers and folks on the team. Whether someone is deaf or blind or speaks a foreign language, whatever it is, as human beings, there are many ways that we can connect. And for us as filmmakers, it was first, like Atin said, building that trust and finding the language to connect with Michelle. And then our task was to put that together on screen in a way that could connect with all of you. So it's just been an incredible blessing to work on this project, and we have an amazing team. So
I'm going to invite you to ask some questions, and we're going to do it a little different than we've done in the past, where I usually have you call them out. But wherever you are, whoever you are, if you have a question, you're going to come down to the second row here, right in front of our interpreter. What was your name again?
My name is Kirk.
Thank you, Kirk. Right in front of Kirk, our interpreter, so that he can get your question to interpret it, and we'll have the exchange in that way. So it's a little bit more than we normally have to come down, I guess, but that's a way we can be inclusive to all people. So if you have a question, come on down, and you can be right here by Kirk. And if you have, actually, let me see if my cell phone, if you have your program, I realized, you can, remember, text messages. Cell phone service isn't that great here, but let's try it. On your program, if you go, I don't want to walk down, there is the cell phone number 650-701-7661. That's on the back of your program. You can text a message. That's not my personal phone, so don't worry about it. And I will relay it here to the team. But if anybody would like to come down, please do so right now. And while we're waiting, I'm going to throw out a question for the team here. You said, this is more of a filmmaking question, but we talk about this a lot in the BraveMaker community, finding funding and finding those supporters. You called out your executive producers. Every film needs an executive producer. So let's talk about that a little bit as you pitch this story. How did that go, and how did this all unfold in the resources of it? Because I'm sure that was not an easy process.
Well, I will say that I think a subject like this, especially, still we are so behind when it comes to funding these kind of stories. Because everyone has... we are not a big, executive or, work for a big network and stuff that we have already funding sitting down. And if you have those guys, they already have decided which kind of stories they want to tell, because for them is all about, scaling and making money or going to the big. But for us, the most important part was, I think we were lucky that I didn't decide to tell this story. It was Rajiv dragged me into this. So then it become Rajiv problem also. And, we go through so much, I will say, I hope and I wish we had a more Rajiv and Preeti in this world, because these stories are very important. I think only we can change without talking about is to show them through this story. So, I would like you guys to give a big applause to Rajiv and Sangmi. So, and that's why we never struggle, trying to find money, because he was always there trying to help us. Because he set this goal from the beginning. He wanted us together to tell this story. And, and we discussed about it in the beginning, and he never gave up. He never let us, he would never let us alone, yeah.
I just can't emphasize enough how important it is to have a Rajiv, to have these supportive people in your life. And some of you in here could be that for others. Be that for their next film, which we'll talk about that at the end. But this is really a cool part of the BraveMaker community, is we are seeing things happening and stories being told and collaborated upon together from a launch pad like this, because people start just to talk after a film or on a red carpet or getting coffee. So thank you so much. Question that came in is, what was Kim's disability? Oh, are you coming? Sure, come next. What was Kim's disability is the question.
For the hearing purpose, sometimes what happens is May will help reinterpret the question. If Michelle doesn't understand me because the two of us recently met, I'm explaining for the hearing people why you're signing it again.
Yeah, May is serving as a deaf interpreter to Michelle. Kim was in a car accident about 15 years, well, probably a few more years than that ago, and she had an adverse reaction to a medication that they put her on, and it caused her to go what she calls white blind. And during the course of filming, Kim actually started to see again. And so it was a little bit challenging for us as filmmakers to tell that story alongside Michelle's powerful story. But yes, so Kim was extremely low vision for many years, and now she can see again.
Hi, Michelle. Wow. Oh, that movie was so inspiring, and just everything that you went through, and thank you so much for being so honest and showing your story. You're not the only one. There's so many deaf people who are suffering through with no caption, no communication access. And now your movie really shows and will really focus on that. And you really have supported the deaf community, and now I think communication will continue to improve. And I was so inspired. And I hope a lot of hearing people here as well were inspired and will learn from this as well. Congratulations, amazing job. Now, one question for you. Moving forward, are you going to stay living with Kim, or are you going to become more independent and live on your own? I'm wishing you the best. I think you're a strong and powerful person. Stay positive. And I live independently.
Quick response, gotta love it. Short and sweet. To Michelle, thank you so much for sharing. I'm reading a text. For sharing your story, your artwork. It is beautiful. I look forward to seeing more beautiful artwork from you, and I'm happy you have the life you deserve now with Kim and her husband. Thank you, and keep drawing. Joni. And Michelle's artwork is outside in our step and repeat red carpet area. And is it for sale?
Yes, if you're interested in purchasing.
Yes, you can go ahead and buy that.
Yeah, reach out to us at contact@beingmichelle.com, and we can discuss connecting you to purchase Michelle's artwork. And also in the future, you can look out for a website for Michelle where she will continue to sell her artwork.
Speaking of their website, beingmichellefilm.com. It's a really well done website, so you can find just beingmichelle.com, beingmichelle.com. And after today, starting tomorrow, you can stream it again online at bravemaker.com with our streaming site. So is that all week or for the rest of the month? What did you choose?
10 days.
Okay, so 10 days. You have 10 days to share it in your networks, on social media, and 50% of all the rental fees go right back to them. All right, any other questions? Please come down. I'm checking the text. I got a couple here. Let's see. First of all, beautiful story and beautiful film, very inspiring film. Question, are you planning to show this are you planning to show this at all? Planning to show this all blind? Oh, are you planning to show this at all blind and deaf schools in the U.S.?
Yes, we'd love to. We're still working on distribution for the film. We aim to have educational and community screenings available in January 2023. So sign up for our newsletter on our website. People can also request to screen the film on the website, and as soon as it becomes available, we will continue to share it.
Also, when you, I think starting tomorrow, for next 10 days, you have 3 versions. So you have audio description movies too. We'll be playing version of Being Michelle in audio description. So if someone is blind, they can basically watch the film too. That part is already done.
I need to tell you all how awesome they were to work with as filmmakers. It's unbelievable sometimes when we're programming our film festival, we will reach out to someone and say, we want to program your film in our festival. And months go by, not a word. And then all of a sudden we hear back, okay, great, what do I have to do? And it's like 3 days before the deadline, and you're bending over backward trying to make everything work for this filmmaker. Not Being Michelle team. They have been so communicative and so good at marketing their film. If you are a filmmaker in this room, you should sit them down and ask them, how did you do it? Tell us what tips, tricks you have. Because you are all here because of them and their work. They were on TikTok. One of our interns was on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. She was doing the TikTok, and she was like, oh, my gosh, there's like 3,000 impressions. I think that's what that means, something that's good, on TikTok because of the Being Michelle team. Really, really cool. So way to go with doing the work of getting your story out there. That's inspiring. All right, any other questions? Here we come. When you show it to Florida policymakers, when will you show it to Florida policymakers, law enforcement, and correctional officers?
I'm going to let Del talk about that, and I'd love for you all to hear a little bit more from Del and Michelle in terms of why they joined this film and the issues it brings up.
It's really important to show this movie to people, the policymakers, so that we can have the prison changes and also changes within the criminal justice system. It's failed in so many different ways, and especially with deaf people, without having the communication, the access to services, no interpreters, so many different things, and we really need to change that. So the movie is part of that, helping lead to that change. It's also important to remember that so many things have happened, there's so many problems that cause that communication breakdown. So it's really, really important that we work hard to improve that conversation. We need to increase understanding, because communication without understanding is basically, or is still, no communication. And there's a lot that we still have to do about having an interpreter there. A certified deaf interpreter who can work with the hearing interpreter as well, so that we can have clear communication. And also that we can have this conversation. It's a back and forth with each other to know what's going on, whether that's with the police, if it's in courtroom, etc. We need to have that. If we don't have everybody involved, then communication is lost. So it's imperative that we improve that communication access. And I also want to add, you know, personally, my dad is deaf, and he was also in prison for 7.5 years in federal penitentiary. And his experience is incredible as well. There's so many parallels between the two stories with Michelle and my father. Deaf people, I mean, that's why we made this movie. It was so important so that we can show the stories of so many people, what happens in the legal system, what happens when you go into the courtroom. And it was so great that we could pull together this amazing team and that we could add the subtitles to it as well, so that when people watch the movie, they can really see what we're talking about. You know, it's not just a movie. We really want people to understand everything that's happening and understand, and hopefully there will be changes that are made in the future. And also I'd like to add, I don't think many people realize that in the jail system, there's so many years. You can be, your time in prison can be extended if you have a punishment, if you don't follow different things, if you don't go to group therapy, if you don't follow all of the rules, if you don't show that you're improving, then your time can be extended. So as a deaf person with no services, no interpreter, that means they don't have an opportunity to take part in those programs where they can improve themselves, which means that their time continues to extend. And it's not fair, and you can continue to have years added to your sentence.
2 more things, and then we'll be able to move on. You can chit-chat with them out in the hallway. First, can you please let Michelle know that I really lost it when she finally found her foster mom? That's from my mom, who was a foster mom. And then the final question and comment. Michelle, you are a hero. When someone wants to know what a hero can look like, that person should look at you. Here's my question. Have you thought about suing the prison agency for not providing you ADA accommodations that you needed for communication? They clearly violated your rights and needs as a deaf person.
That's actually a question that we've had in the past.
We have, and you know, ever since we met Michelle, it's just been one step after another, and that's what we're still doing, to continue to help her really reach freedom and live life in a way that she deserves. So that's definitely something that we are researching. If anybody has knows lawyers, knows people to connect Michelle with, we welcome any suggestions, support, advice, and you can just contact us, and we'd love to chat.
There's an invitation to be a BraveMaker partner right there. So it is beingmichelle.com, but on Instagram it's beingmichellefilm. I was like, I knew I'd do that. Okay, validated. Thank you. Let's give it up for this amazing team, for Del, for May, for Michelle, for May and Atin. Wait, did I say that right?
Yeah, we got
two Mays. I was like, wait a second, that didn't sound right. Dr. May Kennedy and May Thornton. I am in awe of you. You have inspired me. I have appreciated your heart. You truly embody, all of you, what it means to be a BraveMaker. Thank you, audience. Have a great night. Our next film is at 7 p.m. It is called Continue. It is a rated-R gritty drama like Euphoria on HBO that exposes mental health issues, and the star director and actor Nadine Crocker will be here with us. Have a great night. Brave stories change the world. You are the story.